The following is produced by 5 Star Productions USA, which is solely responsible for its editorial content.
Crow's feet, wrinkles. As we age, do we have to let them compromise our appearance? As Alzheimer's disease continues to devastate individuals and families, research into slowing down its progression is promising. How are different cultures affected by health services in the U.S.? Traditional hernia surgery is often painful. Recovery time can be excessive. Now, doctors are minimizing downtime by inserting a plug. Quite often, the pain and strain on our bodies are the result of foot imbalance. So how do we level our foundation for relief? Early detection for prostate cancer is critical for survival. We'll show you the latest testing techniques to detect a tumor before it becomes a problem. Stay tuned for all these topics next on Today's Health. This program is brought to you in part by Allergan, Roche Vitamins Incorporated, the National Alliance for Hispanic Health, Davol Incorporated, Foot Levelers Incorporated, and Eurocore Incorporated.
At the turn of the last century, the average life expectancy was about 40 years. Now, 100 years later, it's almost twice that. We've learned how to overcome some of the deadliest diseases. But now that we're living longer, we're facing others we never had to cope with before. Hello, I'm Robert Urich, and this is Today's Health. The skin is our largest organ. As we live longer, our skin can dry out, wrinkle, and make us look, well, older. Fortunately, there are some new solutions that can help us restore and rejuvenate our skin.
The key to smooth skin with fewer wrinkles and fine lines is the natural exfoliation and moisturization process. As we grow older and expose our skin to the sun, these processes begin to slow down. Wrinkles and fine lines can form. Skin can become dry. Somehow we need to boost the exfoliation process to remove the dry outer layer of cells, uncovering newer, younger cells. How important is looking more youthful to you? Every year, people in the United States spend billions on creams, lotions, facelifts, laser treatments, and other processes aimed at reducing wrinkles and restoring that youthful glow.
There was a point where my skin was rough. I would clean it. It never felt clean. It never smoothed out. There were a variety of lotions, creams, cleansers that I had tried, and none of them really seemed to clean while at the same time providing a smooth texture to my skin.
There's a lot that can be done. I think it's important that everyone recognize that there are a lot of treatments readily available that are very effective in slowing down the natural process of aging.
Some dermatologists recommend skin rejuvenation products with alpha-hydroxy acids, such as MD Forte skincare products.
Alpha-hydroxy acids, the most common one is glycolic acid, and it actually enhances the process of exfoliation. By doing this, it softens and smooths the skin. It also balances skin tones.
Because I was concerned about the appearance of my skin.
MD Forte actually recommends a 4-step process. The first step is cleansing, and then you renew with a glycolic acid product, either a cream or a lotion, and then you hydrate, which is very important, either with a gel or a cream, and then you must sun protect.
Each morning I use the daily cleanser, follow that up with the moisturizer as well as the special eye moisturizer. Following that, I apply the sunscreen because I'm in the sun a lot, and it's an important part to continue to protect my skin. My skin started to feel smoother, was smoother to the touch, and had a cleaner, fresher appearance.
The natural aging process, the sun, and other environmental factors can dry, wrinkle, and discolor our skin. Well, thankfully, there are solutions that can renew and rejuvenate our skin, so we can always put our best face forward.
A familiar face can become a total stranger. When Alzheimer's disease impacts an individual, it deeply affects the family as well. Coming up, we'll look at the theories behind the loss of cognitive function and find out about new prevention strategies currently being tested.
Imagine the horror of watching a loved one's memory fade so much that you become a total stranger. It's a tragic idea, and unfortunately one many people must live through when someone they love has Alzheimer's disease. Hopefully, a possible breakthrough has just recently appeared on the horizon.
Alzheimer's disease is an insidious, creeping disorder that robs a person of their memory, their personality, and eventually their life. It decimates an individual, and it can be devastating to their loved ones and family.
Age is the most important risk factor for Alzheimer's disease, and the prevalence or the number of cases approximately doubles with every 5-year period after the age of 65.
Over about 5 to 10 torturous years, it can lead an older individual deeper and deeper into a world that becomes so unfamiliar, everyone is a stranger, and everywhere unknown.
Yesterday, right, good. I'm confused.
That's okay. That's okay. Don't worry about it, you know?
Well, in 1996, when my dad first was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, he was a very independent person, and now that he has Alzheimer's, he's dependent upon myself for a number of things. He's dependent upon me for transportation. He can no longer drive a car, for instance. I have to prepare meals for him. I have to take him different places because he can no longer get there without assistance from family.
It's very important for families to contact the Alzheimer's Association once they do have a diagnosis. It's really important for them to know that there are resources in their community, but most importantly, our chapters have experienced caregivers and trained professionals who can talk with them, answer their questions, and let them know that there are services available to help them through the disease progression.
Currently, there are several alternative strategies being tested to see if the development of Alzheimer's disease can be delayed. So there is hope on the horizon.
With respect to Alzheimer's disease, currently there are treatments related to the cholinesterase inhibitor class of medications, for example, Aricept, and also vitamin E is another medication that we currently use to treat patients with Alzheimer's disease.
The exact cause of the disease is still not fully understood. According to one theory, some scientists believe that it is gene-related formation of beta-amyloid protein plaques, which cause damage to neurons in the brain, leading eventually to the development of Alzheimer's disease. In addition, several studies suggest that cell damage caused by oxidative stress is also a contributing factor.
There have been studies, case control studies, of brain tissue of Alzheimer's disease patients, which show greater oxidative damage in the tissue and also lower levels of antioxidant nutrients.
Where do breakthroughs come from? The answer is anywhere. Progress in fighting deadly diseases has occurred through painstaking research, divine inspiration, even by accident. If we can understand Alzheimer's disease better, we may be able to find treatments that can be more effective.
As our understanding of Alzheimer's disease increases, our ability to develop strategies to slow its progression or prevent it also increases. Among others, the daily usage of 2,000 international units of vitamin E supplements has shown great promise in the management of Alzheimer's disease.
Vitamin E, we think, working as an antioxidant, may affect the underlying disease pathology, that is, slow the development of plaques and tangles within the brain.
Mary Sano, an associate professor at Columbia University, showed that the use of a daily supplement of 2,000 IU of vitamin E slowed down the progression of Alzheimer's disease.
The Alzheimer's Disease Cooperative Study conducted a clinical trial with vitamin E and selegiline in patients who have moderate Alzheimer's disease.
Vitamin E slowed the progression of the disease in a significant proportion of patients. Since both selegiline and vitamin E worked about equally effectively, vitamin E is much less expensive than selegiline and also has fewer side effects and fewer interactions with other drugs. Almost all patients are placed on vitamin E rather than selegiline.
The promising results in Alzheimer's patients from the Sano study has inspired another 3-year multi-center memory impairment study to determine if vitamin E can actually prevent the onset of Alzheimer's disease.
In the memory impairment study, we are planning to recruit about 720 individuals. There will be 3 treatment arms. The 3 treatment arms are vitamin E and a multivitamin, Aricept and a multivitamin, and a multivitamin alone. In the memory impairment study, we're using 10 milligrams of Aricept each day and 2,000 international units of vitamin E each day in 2 divided doses, 1,000 international units twice daily. A good diet typically has about 15 international units of vitamin E. For people to get 2,000 international units of vitamin E, they would have to take supplemental vitamin E.
The vitamin E and multivitamins used in the memory impairment study are provided by Roche Vitamins Incorporated. The study is funded through a grant from the National Institute on Aging, with additional funding from Pfizer Incorporated and Eisai Incorporated. With every new clinical study, there's new hope that this may be the one to lead to a breakthrough. The progression of Alzheimer's disease is devastating and deadly. If we can learn how to slow it down, we may eventually discover how to stop it.
Up next, what's being done to help Hispanics live healthier in the U.S. while maintaining their cultural practices? Have you ever heard of a mesh Perfix plug? Well, for those undergoing hernia surgery, this plug could bring relief a lot quicker.
Cultural diversity has always been one of the more notable aspects about the United States. Our nation consists of many ethnic groups that coexist with one another. And while we all share the same country, we don't all have the same health experiences. A good example of this is the Hispanic community. It has many unique health challenges and equally unique solutions.
These children are all growing up in the United States, but assimilating into the U.S. culture may actually bring them new health challenges. Statistics show that even though members of the Hispanic community have less access to health services, they live longer. But as they adopt U.S. norms, that health advantage is eroding.
Despite the fact that Hispanics live longer lives, they also have a number of chronic conditions such as diabetes and depression.
The over 35 million Hispanics in the United States are the nation's largest racial or ethnic minority group. Yet despite the fact that they have the least access to health services, they challenge long-held notions about risk factors, health, and well-being in the United States. What we're finding out is that some aspects of the United States lifestyle, smoking, use of alcohol, sedentary life, are not as good as some of the practices from other cultures. Although the Hispanic community may fare better on some health statistics, there are still serious challenges that face this group. Fortunately, the members of the National Alliance for Hispanic Health reach 1 in 3 Hispanic consumers throughout the U.S.
The National Alliance for Hispanic Health is 27 years old, and our network of providers serve 10 million Hispanics. That's 1 out of 3 Hispanics in the United States. We do 5 things. We work with consumers, we work with providers, we work with the science community, and we work with those involved in technology to make sure we have the best of those. But to push that all forward, we also are very active in advocacy and accountability, making sure our voices are heard.
These efforts to provide services in the community improve access and allow Hispanics to preserve the cultural practices that help them live healthy while also adapting positive health habits from mainstream U.S. culture.
The key to improving the Hispanic health experience is threefold. 1 is better access. The second is being better informed of what are the facts about Hispanic health. And the third is once you're in a healthcare system, making sure that system provides you the care you need.
For Hispanics, body, mind, and spirit are all one system. As health becomes more encompassing in the United States, perhaps all Americans can benefit from a more integrated view of health. The National Alliance for Hispanic Health's pioneering work to integrate community, culture, and family into health promises improved health for all Americans.
Innovations open doors to new alternatives for many different conditions. Researchers hold the key, and their breakthroughs can turn a difficult challenge into a promising situation. New surgical procedures have improved the prospects for people with hernias.
A hernia is a separation of muscles and tissue in your lower abdominal wall that allows your intestines and fat to push through, creating a bulge or a lump in your groin. A hernia can potentially be life-threatening if it becomes strangulated, where the intestine that's pushed through, the blood supply to the intestines is stopped and it turns gangrenous.
Hernia. Just the mention of the word is enough to make some people squirm. They can be painful, deadly, and they won't go away without surgery.
Traditional hernia surgery involves the use of sutures, and in bringing the tissues together, the sutures create tension, and tension means pain. And therefore, when you have pain, you just have an extended period of recuperation, sometimes stretching up to 1 or 2 months.
I first realized I had a hernia when I finished jogging and had a strain in my groin. And I felt a lump in that area and had it checked by my doctor the next day, and he confirmed my suspicions that it was a hernia.
An innovative alternative in hernia repair may be an attention-free technique like the barred mesh Perfix plug, developed by Davol. In an outpatient procedure that dramatically reduces pain and takes approximately 30 minutes to perform, a mesh plug that looks like a badminton birdie can be inserted into the hole in the muscle wall, and the vast majority of patients can resume normal, everyday activities in an average of 3 days.
The one thing I didn't want to be was out of commission. Being not only active in my recreational activities, I'm also a very active surgeon, and I certainly did not want to take time off from my surgical cases and also from my recreational activities.
The most dramatic improvement over traditional hernia surgery using the Perfix plug is the very fact that it's a minimal incision, less than 2 inches in length, that there's minimal cutting and sewing, and that you're not creating tension within the body through the use of sutures.
I walked into the operating theater. I had my surgery done under local anesthesia, was actually able to chat with my surgeon during the procedure. Indeed, was able to walk out of the office, and on a motorcycle ride as I was returning home 2 days after the operation, my motorcycle slid on some leaves in the front lawn and it fell. My wife and I were able to right it from a fallen position and wheel it into the garage without any pain, discomfort, and of course my hernia surgery held beautifully.
The pain and recovery time of traditional hernia surgery can be enormous. Fortunately, new alternatives may allow people to correct a painful, potentially life-threatening condition without disrupting their lives.
Advanced technology is giving all of us greater access to more health information than ever before. If you want to explore an issue, the best place to start is our website. So come visit us at vstar.com. Sometimes the simplest answers are not always obvious. Many people who suffer from chronic fatigue, backache, and neck pain are finding that the road to relief may start at their feet.
The importance of good posture and proper alignment of the body is extremely significant in every individual. The way that the person sits, sleeps, lifts, and whatnot can develop certain patterns that can become very harmful, especially in later years. Most people have one foot that's flatter than the other as they get older. This problem will cause the leg to compensate, giving potential knee and hip problems. It will cause the pelvis and the shoulders and the head to tilt.
The misalignment caused by unleveled foot posture can lead to uneven weight distribution and muscle imbalance.
Good posture starts with your feet. When your feet are in proper alignment, they can support the body and reduce stress and strain. Well, many people with knee, hip, or back pain or fatigue and other related illnesses may find that relief starts with their feet.
I was having quite a bit of pain in my low back. My knees were bothering me, and of course my shoulders and my neck were bothering me quite a bit. It was hard to go to work. Gardening was almost impossible to get weeding and stuff like that, where you're down on your knees and actually pulling. Just even doing the dishes was tough because you got to stand and reach in the end of the sink. That was even hard for me to do. I don't like taking pain pills, so I decided I better go try a chiropractor.
Many chiropractors who want to improve their patients' postural alignment and enhance their chiropractic adjustments always look to the foundation, the feet. Orthotic devices, like the UltraStep developed by foot levelers, are custom-made to balance and level your feet, reduce pain, and improve your body's performance.
And orthotics such as foot levelers will balance the arches in the feet. The 3 arches in the feet are supported within their normal ranges. This will then create a balance in the knees, the lower limbs, creating the pelvis and shoulders and head that are level so that the eyes are level and the body can maintain proper equilibrium.
Between my chiropractor and the orthotics, my overall health has improved. I sleep better at night. I have a lot more energy.
Many people probably do not realize how imbalances in their feet, even though they don't hurt, can be directly related to many other structural ailments. But it's easy to understand once you realize that the key to a level foundation is proper support with custom orthotics.
In many cases, the smaller the enemy, the easier it is to defeat. Now, this is especially true when it comes to prostate cancer. When detected early, the prospects for survival are very good. Recent innovations are now giving doctors the ability to discover prostate cancer when the tumor is very small and the probability of a cure is very high.
With any cancer, and in particular with prostate cancer, there are huge differences in the treatment choices depending on the stage at presentation. Patients who have cancer detected at an early stage have certain options available to them and significantly improved survival.
There are many aspects in life where timing is everything. When it comes to prostate cancer, timing can be a matter of life or death. Prostate cancer is the second leading cause of cancer death in males. The American Cancer Society estimates that about 245,000 new cases will be diagnosed this year.
I figured I was going to be 50 years old. I figured we were going to have a PSA screening at the hospital. I said, what the hell, let me go. I went and I didn't realize, but it was a 6.9, which is above the normal, which is 4. I had no symptoms whatsoever, so I could have had it and wouldn't have known it until possibly till it spread, until it was too late.
Some of the greatest recent breakthroughs in the war on prostate cancer have been in our ability to detect the cancer when the tumor is very small. Companies that specialize in developing and advancing testing for prostate cancer, like Uricor, give doctors unique access to diagnostic tools, including PSA tests, DNA ploidy analysis, and staging algorithms.
Once prostate cancer has metastasized or spread outside the prostate, we will not cure it. Our only chance of cure is if we can catch the cancer early.
Patients who have early prostate cancer that we want to achieve a cure can be treated in 2 basic ways. One is radical prostate surgery to remove the prostate, and the other is radiotherapy, brachytherapy.
Brachytherapy is the placement of radioactive material in the vicinity of the tumor to allow the radiation source that is so close to the cancer to give off a very high dose of radiation to that cancer that's right next to it.
My health status is fine since the surgery. It's actually 2 years since my surgery. I just had a checkup with the doctor and my PSA level is now 0.0.
If you get a yearly checkup, you may be able to find and eliminate a tumor that is very small long before it can become a dangerous problem.
Everyone wants a good quality of life. If we can just do the little things to maintain our health, we may be able to avoid the big things that can threaten it. I'm Robert Urich. For more information about any topic we covered on this show, log on to our website at vstar.com. And join us again next time as we get right to the heart of the matters concerning your life on Today's Health.
Set Furnishings and Accessories by Levenger.
This has been a presentation of 5 Star Productions USA, which is solely responsible for its editorial content.